record. Awesome. Okay, so good evening. Thank you for being here, Vivian, Cassidy, Laura, and Sam. I'll do some quick introductions on who is in the room, and then I'll talk a little bit about CJAN, and then I'm going to hand over the mic to Sam to go ahead with an interview. Laura, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Placencia. I am new staff with VIP. I went to school at Stanislaus and I got my bachelor's in biology.
Thanks. Sam?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Samuel. I currently go to Modesto High School. I'm in the IB program. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is. And that's basically me.
Sam, tell us what the IB program is.
Oh, so the IB program is a 2-year program that challenges you to become like a more rounded student. So there's a lot of different things that go into it, like CAS, which is like community service hours. You have to do like individual investigations. You have to do extended essays. It's a lot of requirements. It's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it for what you get out of it. It's a lot of preparation for college, and it's really a great way to connect with school, but also connect it to your life and to like your social life as well.
Thank you. And then Cassidy, just a quick intro. We'll do a deeper intro with a Q&A.
I'm Cassidy, and I'm a junior at Alameda High.
Vivian?
Hi guys, I'm Vivian. I'm a junior at George Washington High School in SF, and I go by she, her pronouns. Oh, and I'm 16.
Awesome, thank you. And then today we have some special guests who are going to be in behind the scenes here with us, and I'm going to let Sam introduce himself.
Hello everyone, good evening. Hope you're doing great. I'm here with the Story of Stuff project, which is a Bay Area nonprofit. We do a combination of campaigns work and storytelling, mainly through video and social media around a series of kind of issues around waste and a kind of make use waste system and how we can change it. So we're really excited to partner with value improvement projects. I want to highlight some of the great work that you guys have all been doing here. In particular, we're looking at the impact of the waste incinerator here in the kind of Modesto area. So we are looking at a short documentary, and we really want to look at ways to find to support value improvement projects in the great work that you guys are doing to try and bring that to a close and kind of transform the system and the materials economy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to step away and let you guys do your meeting as normal, and hope to hear more from you guys soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. So let me give you a little bit of a background to some of the things that Sam shared and just about value improvement projects and the Climate Justice Action Now group. I'll be very brief, but you're welcome to also ask questions. We will ask you all questions about your involvement in the Bay Area Youth Climate Summit. So Valley Improvement Projects has been a nonprofit here in the Central Valley for the last 10 years, a little bit over, but officially as a nonprofit for the last 10 years. And one of our projects is the Climate Justice Action Now group, which is a multi-generational space where we are to encourage and provide space for young people to share their voice and opinion and do local community work as it relates to climate justice, climate resiliency, environmental justice, fight environmental racism, and basically just have a space to be able to to organize, collaborate, and learn, and together to grow and make our communities better. So Valley Improvement Projects is why we named it, because very general, and we stick to various projects. And so as Sam mentioned, plastic policy or plastic issues is a really big concern amongst our youth. And unfortunately, we don't have many youth here joining us today, which is why we're recording so that we can share it with those who weren't able to attend today. Laura or Sam, did you want to share anything specific about CJAN or VIP?
I think one thing I want to share is like the network we're creating of students. That's probably like really like a core sort of aspect of Valley Improvement Projects. We're trying to create like a network of youth all over the city and maybe like all over the county, so that we can have a lot of people come together to share their ideas in this space where we can talk about them, and really be able to make change happen and demonstrate that we want something to change.
Yes, thank you for adding that, Sam. And so this is why we wanted to be able to interview Bay Area Youth Summit folks so that we can learn from your experiences as we try to build this network like Sam shared. So I'm going to let Sam take the lead on the rest here, and then we can go back and forth. And Laura, please feel free to ask any other questions, or Cassidy and Vivian, please add anything that we might have missed. It's all yours, Sam.
All right, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Cassidy and Vivian for coming today, and also Laura. You know, I know it takes time out of your day, and you know, you got homework to do and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for being here. I think like the first question I want to ask is, like, when did you get involved with the Bay Area Youth Climate Summit? And like, what was your experience like, basically?
I can go first. I think I found BAYCS kind of around Instagram, and like they're very involved in social media, and I live in that area, it's like Bay Area. So I discovered them through Instagram, and I applied to their team because they have like applications, I think twice a year, so in January and in June. So I applied in the winter time, and I got accepted and had interviews. And my experience has been really well so far. I've gained some experience through like leadership, like interviews, like public speaking for sure. And also like collaboration with like different people, especially like remotely, because it's hard because like we live in all different places. So definitely like collaboration and public speaking skills and leadership is definitely something that I've learned a lot in my experience at BCS. And then also like learning, because like even though I'm like, you know, a member and I'm like an activist, I'm still growing and learning, you know, as an activist, I'm learning, oh, this causes this, you know, these issues are happening to these, you know, this group, and, you know, so it's just always learning and growing as well.
All right, Vivian, do you want to share, maybe like add on to that?
Yes. So basically, this is kind of funny. Like, I basically found out through BAYCS the same way Cassidy did. I was just like scrolling on Instagram, and applications were open, and me as like I've always been interested in like environmentalism. Of course, I applied and scheduled an interview with the teammate, and I got in, and so far my experience has been like the most like informational and like interactive. I got to meet like the best people, and working with like such like-minded youth is like, it's like a really like educational experience, you know. It's just like working together to create this like immense like change. And yeah, I've been like, yeah, and I've also been like learning about like the climate and like ways to take action along the way, since initially like I joined, I wasn't really aware of like this much like resources like us youth can host like such like a successful summit, you know. So then it's a learning experience as well, and I love this team.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So I guess we go on to the next question. So how do you manage to balance both like your passion for creating change in your community and, you know, school life or social life? Like what is that like? Do you integrate them together? Are they separate? You know, can you elaborate more on that?
Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first, Vivian?
No, you can go first.
Okay. So I think like particularly for BAYCS, what's really convenient about you know, our team, we meet on Zoom and during the evening. So it's like a perfect time since like, you know, we have school during the day and then extracurriculars. So it's really convenient to kind of like mobilize each other and network and kind of like work together towards our projects and workshops during this time. And it's like a few times a week. So it's not like every single day, you know, you're like homework, BAYCS, school, dance, you know, all of those things like extracurriculars. So you have kind of like a time for school, a time for like work or sports, and then you have a time for activism. And so that, I think that's the like a great thing and a great schedule to balance. Also, like knowing your schedule in advance is also really, really helpful to kind of balance your school life and also like what events you're doing, what projects you're working on. You can definitely also integrate them and kind of like spread the word about those events and like engage other of your peers and your friends to like come to these events or invite them to the BAYCS event or your event that you're hosting, you know? And then one other really important thing that I want to mention is also like, it's okay to prioritize school, I feel like, because when you have a community and a network, they're able to support you. And while you're busy, you know, doing a test, you know, or kind of have like a meeting or something with your teacher, you know, they're there to be in your place and kind of hold on for, you know, while you're gone for a while, but you can always come back and, you know, spring on any time.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Um, if I look down at my keyboard, it's because I'm trying to take notes while you guys are talking. But yeah, do you want to share anything, Vivian?
Yes, I basically echo what Cassidy said because, you know, I'm a junior in high school. The workload is like insane. So to balance like such like a lively schedule, I like create like a schedule, no, like a planner or like I keep track of like when BAYCS meetings are, when my other extracurriculars, or when I have like tutoring with my teachers, etc. And I feel like that really helps as like you get to know your schedule in advance, and you also have some free time, which then you can like continue like your activism work and stuff. But like dip for me individually, I feel like I kind of also integrate like activism in school. Like I'm like an avid like activist. I'm like an officer or like club president of like my environmental club at like school, and like basically we host basically pretty much what BAYCS does, but much as like a like smaller like school scale, you know. So like I kind of like um yeah, I kind of like intersect the two, but also a schedule is important too, just to like yeah, balance your life.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, you guys. It gives like pretty good insight onto, you know, how we should manage this. So let's go next question. Uh, could you tell us like specifically about how the climate summit went? Um, like what role did adults play, or like it just what was the whole vibe, and like uh how did you guys manage to create this?
Cassidy, do you want to go or?
I think you should go first. I can add on.
Okay, so basically we hosted our third annual summit. We host annual summits this past September 24th of this year. And basically our summit incorporated a bunch of workshops on a variety of climate issues. We hosted environmental lunch activities, and we also had our amazing keynote speaker, Jackie Fielder, which was very, I was like fangirling. So like in terms of like the progress of like the process, we started at mid-June. The entirety of our team began working on like the event, ranging from like logistics to contacting potential organizations we want to present. We want them to present on at our summit. And yeah, from every week from then on out, we hosted not like we held like weekly meetings, which were like about 2 hours, which isn't like that time consuming. We basically worked on collaborating with the organizations on what they're going to present at our summit, and yeah, pretty much planning up until the day. And regarding expenses for our summit, it was practically free, as like World Affairs, which is like an organization who like kindly like held our like summit, which we are like so thankful for. And we had donations from sustainable brands to gift out to winners of our raffle picking for which was like at our summit. So we didn't really have like, it wasn't like, you know, like real expensive in like that like name, you know.
Okay, could I add a follow-up question to that?
Yeah, of course.
So what was it like trying to get different organizations? Because you mentioned like you got donations from sustainable brands. What was it like to be able to convince them or like persuade them to help you plan and really execute this climate summit?
That's a tough question. We reached out to like a bunch of like Bay Area like climate organizations, and then I don't know exactly how like what made them want to do it, but like I think focusing on like how we're like youth led made them want to like participate and like um be involved in this like movement as well. So I think that played a huge like role in them coming to our summit.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you want to add anything, Cassidy, to that?
I think I do a little bit because like so many of like the organizations we reached out for like donations and also for like to speak at our for workshops, they're all environmental based. So like we kind of have a connection with them that we're both environmental, and we're both also like we're youth led. So like it kind of gives them an incentive to want to help us, and like it's hard to say no to like teens who want to kind of like change the world and kind of make our earth clean and better. So I think it's kind of hard for a company to say no. And I think also like volume is super important. Like you're gonna get a lot of no's, and that's the truth. And so you want to kind of expand how many people you're reaching out to, so like you have enough yeses, and kind of minimize the no's.
Okay, thank you for adding on. That was really insightful. So let's go on to the next question. I know it's like question after question, but like we really want to, help. We want to know what you guys did so like we can plan our own climate summit. So what is like the most challenging aspect of being a young advocate, and how did you overcome it? Or like, what are some tools that you used to be able to get where you are today in your advocation of like, these issues?
You want to go, Vivian?
No, you can go.
Okay. Like also, wait, one thing, sorry, I totally forgot. I want to like circle back to the previous question and kind of add on to what Vivian said. So like for like the duration, like how much time we spent, I think it also kind of depends on your role. So like me and Vivian, we're both like workshop and outreach members, whereas like we have co-chairs, and like co-leads who might have more of a responsibility and kind of like oversee us. So they may kind of take more time out of their week to like plan. So for us, it might be 2 or 3, but for them, maybe 4 to 5. So like kind of really depends on your role and what role you play and like what committee you're in, I guess, or what like department you're in. And then also to the question that you just asked, sorry. I think one challenge is like our age, you know, we're youth, and also our lack of voting right. You don't have any, you know, I guess if you're like 18 above, but like, you know, 18 and younger, you know, you don't really have much of a legal right to voice out your opinion. And that sometimes is used against us in a way to like diminish your voice and to kind of ignore like, oh, you know, she's like, what, 16? Like she doesn't know what she's doing, right? So I think, you know, not paying attention to that and using that as a way to even make your voice even stronger, you know, overcoming that and kind of making your voice a little louder so people can hear. And also what you're doing right now, you know, Samuel, like creating a network and a community, so you're building that voice of like passionate youth. I think that will also kind of overcome those voices who are like, no, you know, you're too young, you have no voting right, you know. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Vivian, do you want to add something to that?
Yes, basically to build on Cassidy's idea, I feel like we don't have that much like power to like exercise our opinion, and especially in this society too, when like everyone's like just like, I don't know, like doesn't believe in us like whatsoever because we're like these like kids, like, but like, you know, it does matter. And I feel like teamwork plays a huge role in like success and like activism, because I feel like by yourself you can feel like at like, you know, at times like alone and feel like you're not really creating a change, but with like a team like BAYCS for instance, you can feel like a part of something like more extensive and feel like you're actually doing something in this like global like climate movement. So yeah, teamwork.
Okay, I really like how you added that on, how if there's more people to like, help you and support you, then, you can get more done, or you feel like you're getting a lot out of it or a lot done. Thank you. Um, so what is like one of the most important pieces of advice you would give uh if someone like, someone like us were planning it, that have never done it before?
Do you want to go, Cassidy, or?
I mean, up to you.
Okay, I can go first. Okay, so to like host like this like event, which is of course like stressful at times, I feel like to host like a successful like climate event, or like of any sort, is to like, if you guys are like having like organizations presenting at like your summit, you should always encourage to like have them incorporate interactive component, you know, to like just like appeal to like the audience's interests, and like basically not just have like a slideshow and basically just end like the presentation there, you know. So I feel like having this like um activity, or like maybe this like even Kahoot or something, anything could help, just like to like foster like um a growth in like knowledge for like the audience, and they can leave with like something that like they learned.
Okay, thank you. Let me go grab my charger really quick because my laptop is like dying on me. So I'll be right back, okay?
While Sam grabs his charger, I don't want him to miss anything, but I'm already learning a lot about Cassidy and Vivian, and what your current role is for the BAYCS. Could you just give us a little explanation of what the BAYCS is? Like, is it a club? Is it just organizing committee for every year's summit? What other activities do you guys do as BAYCS?
Do you want to go, Cassie, or I can?
You should go, because I know you prepared a great statement for this.
Okay. So for BAYCS, we're basically a youth-led organization based in the Bay Area, focused on climate justice and education through taking action and mobilizing youth. And we basically encompass this mission through monthly workshops and like our annual summit, which have engaged over 3,500 youth across the globe, which I said. Um, so for the Bay Area Youth Climate Summit, different like departments do like different activity, like have different roles. So like me and Cassidy were part of the workshops and outreach group. So a list of what we do is we present at like the science festival. We recently, like during the summer, we participated in the Teen Science Night at the California Academy of Science in SF, and we educate youth, or we manage our partnerships we have with other youth organizations as well. And for our workshops team, we basically work on like our monthly workshops and organize it. Basically, like our summit, but at a smaller scale, which are at a monthly basis. Oh, to add on, sorry. There's also like a newsletter and social media team, which of course they produce social media posts, or they write newsletters for our monthly letter, which has like a list of like volunteer opportunities or like just news on like our organizations and stuff like that. So yeah, we have like a very diverse like group of people doing different stuff. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to add on, Cassidy, or?
I have nothing to add on. Vivian said everything perfectly, and she really encapsulated what BAYCS really is.
Okay, that's cool. I think for the second to last question, what is like the most important method that you guys use to get engagement from your community?
I think like utilizing social media is really, really important because, you know, most of the youth are on social media. Like, you know, we make up a really big demographic. So definitely doing outreach like social media posts, because TikToks, like anything, really is really important. And also like building a good, like a supportive and loyal following on your social media platforms will really spread the news, and they will want to spread their news to their friends or their communities. It's really important to utilize and kind of, you know, really market yourself on social media. And you can really do a lot. There's so much variety and creativity that goes into social media. And then what was I gonna say? Also like schools, like local schools, like you said, you wanted to like, you know, expand your network through like counties in your city, like utilizing schools and like, you know, making announcements through schools and like school newsletters or school websites, you know, and like kind of like hosting events and like talking about like your network through the schools is really important to get a lot of like youth engagement, especially, and also parents can get involved as well and hear about your network through there. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Vivian, do you want to add something or?
Yes. So I basically agree with Cassidy as well. And I feel like a vital part in like spreading like the word about environmental justice is, I follow this saying, like it's the little things that like count, you know. It like starts from educating like your friends, even your parents, or even like older generations like my grandma, or like uh grandparents, like etc., you know. And then like of course, like what Cassidy has said, social media plays a huge part in it as well. You can really make a change just by like a single post, like on your Instagram story that could like help someone, I don't know, like donate or like volunteer for something involving the environment. So I feel like both like talking to people you know and having these like conversations about like this issue, because this issue is like it's important, like it's significant, it's going to impact us. So I feel like that, and also like social media is a big part.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I think the last question to just end it off would be, what advice would you give young people who are passionate about climate or environmental justice?
Vivian, do you want to go or?
I can go.
Okay,
Go.
I can go after.
Okay. I feel like for young people, like a piece of advice I would give is to like keep on searching. Like even if you're part of like your school's like eco club, you can always like find resources on social media or through your friends to like, I don't know, like join a protest or phone bank or letter writing. Like the list is like endless. So I feel like if you keep like, I mean, the list never ends, but like if you keep like continuing this like chain of like activities, it really makes an impact, and like it can also like help you learn your like about the climate on like um in the process.
Okay, thank you. Cassidy, do you want to go next?
Sure. I think it's really great that, you're mentioning that you're building a network. Like that's really important. It's great for, youth in your area who are also really passionate about, environment and like change, because like that gives them a sense of a community and like a support group where like, like in a really issue, like a big issue that's going on right now, climate change, you can often become kind of cynical and like really discouraged. So like you have your, group, your network to support you and be there for you and help kind of give you some positive, insight. And then one other thing I wanted to add is that, environmental activism is for everyone. Any skill set and anybody can like participate and help out. Like an example, we were talking about like social media. Like if you're really good at making TikToks or like creating posts, you can use social media and utilize that as a way to educate or like, do outreach about an event or educate about like an issue, like a climate issue that's occurring right now, or like if you're great, like, speaker and you love socializing, this is like a great opportunity to talk like in interviews and like talk to other students and your peers about climate change and like events coming up and how to help that and how to combat that. So I think environmental activism is truly for anyone of any age or like any background, really. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys. This was like really insightful. It really helped. So I think I'm just gonna pass it off to Bianca now. I don't think I have any more questions. So Bianca, do you want to end it off or add anything else?
Yeah, I have some follow-up questions and then just maybe some additional questions if you guys are okay with that. And then Laura, if you have any questions, just unmute and speak up. But I really appreciate learning more about BAYCS. It is really inspiring, especially I felt a little uncomfortable. I actually attended this last summit, and it was very inspiring. And I only felt uncomfortable because I was short. Everybody was taller than me, it seemed like. And I was one of the few adults there, and that was amazing to see. It was by youth, for youth, and mostly youth were in attendance. And the way you guys kept everybody engaged, and the activities for lunch were amazing. Making buttons, that was so much fun. And I didn't get to participate in the mural making, but the youth in there in that room were, vibing to the music, getting their creativity going. Ditia, who's not here with us today, she wasn't able to attend, also attended, and she was very inspired and wanted to do more, which is why we asked if we could interview BAYCS so that we can learn a little bit about what it takes, on the youth end, of course. I mean, I've put on events before, nothing as a youth. Like this is not what I was doing in high school. I was in track and basically kept myself busy with sports. But so, you know, I really like that you mentioned, I think it was Vivian that said that when you got involved, you weren't too, como se dice, like too informed on the issues. But as you joined, you were learning more and used it as an opportunity to become more of that expert, right, on these issues that plague your community, which is really inspiring. Like the youth who are listening to us today or who are going to be watching this should know, right? Like if you just have a passion for change and to be involved with like-minded folks, that it's okay to not know the science behind climate change or what climate change really is, as long as you know and you feel like you have a passion to make these conversations be at the forefront of, you know, the spaces where youth are involved. So I do appreciate that. I enjoyed listening to it all. My little one is in here now and trying to distract me. Sorry. What is we know that mental health really affects, or climate change has really affected the mental health of our young people. But I think you've been able to give us a little bit of an insight on how you manage to stay positive and just hopeful that something, you know, will come soon as far as like being more resilient or addressing the real issues. Can you tell us a little bit about how you deal, if you didn't already? I might have missed a couple of minutes. But what do you do like to like calm and soothe yourself to be able to, you know, take care of your mental health? Or is that even an issue for you?
I can go, Cassidy, if you're fine with that. Okay. So, as of like right now, I've never really had like a time where like I completely were like, oh my God, like I need a mental breakdown. Not mental break, like mental break. But like I've definitely had moments where I felt like this like immense stress, like I've faced, like of course, like everybody does that, you know? So like basically to like cool off, if I'm being honest, I just like talk with my friends. I mean, like that's like, yeah. Or like for me, I keep myself I like keeping myself productive. Like productive makes me feel like I've actually like I'm doing something. So like I like complete like my assignments, or like sometimes I work on like BAYCS work too and stuff. So that's my way of like coping with like if in times of stress. Yeah.
I'll add on a little bit. I also agree with Vivian. Like, I don't think I've had too much of like a mental breakdown as well, but I've had like anxiety, a little bit of like, there's a lot of like, especially in like, politically, there's a lot of like issues with like passing acts and like stuff that we really need our politicians to do with like certain bills and stuff. And like those have not passed, or certain things have not, but certain things have. So it's like great for me, and like helps with like my mindset, I guess, to look back of how far we've come. Like I think recently the Inflation Act passed, and that was really great, and kind of something that I can use as saying like, oh, we're not that far away, we're getting there. And even though progress is slow, it's happening, it's there. So I think that's something that's also like, look at the good moments and the really great achievements that we've had so far, and kind of use that as a way to kind of see like, oh, we've got this, a little setback is nothing, we can keep going through it,
That's a great perspective to have, always looking at the positive and looking at the victories and successes. How did you guys celebrate the success of this last summit?
We haven't really yet, but our like co-chairs are planning like a picnic to celebrate the success. Yeah.
Food, yes. Yummy. By the way, you guys had lots of good food. I planned on having like a bagel or something for lunch, but the food was delicious. Thank you for providing that.
Yes.
Laura, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do have one question. So in what ways are students most willing and able to participate in the different activities or events that you guys have?
Is this in terms of the summit or like in general?
Just in general. Like,
Okay. Can you repeat your question again? Sorry.
yeah. And in what ways are students most like willing and able to participate in the different activities that you guys hold or events that you guys have?
Do you want to go, Cassidy? Or
Okay, yeah, I can go. I think I'm right now. Okay. I think there's definitely a certain subject and like certain like activities that really propel students. Like I think like planting, like we did some like native planting for a few workshops, like Save the Bay. We were doing like a beach, like some coastal cleanup. We were able to like plant some like native plants and like weed some plants out. And then I think like a few months like before that too, we did like Sutro stewards and we're able to plant native plants. So I think planting is something that feels like, you know, it's physical and you're in one of the nature. So I feel like that's something that really appeals to students as well. So I would see like that it's a very like popular event that people have attended, and that's kind of like the trend that I've seen so far, for me personally.
can I also add something? Yes, I feel like for BAYCS, our team does a great job in reaching like outreach and social media efforts, and I feel like that that particularly like targets like prospective like audience in which like possibly like results in like the success of our workshops, summits, presentations, etc. So I feel like our team, yeah, does like a really good job. We reach out to schools, we reach out to local clubs, even organizations to help us like promote like workshops and stuff, and even on our social media too. And I feel like that really leads to success in any of our like activities.
I had another question when you were mentioning planting, and I didn't write it down, so I'm gonna go to my other one. What do you guys do for fun? I know some of you, I think Cassidy mentioned sports, but what other extracurricular activities, I can't say that word, extracurricular activities do you guys do?
I like to bake. My hobby is like primarily baking. Actually, I run the baking club at my school, and we basically host like school day like bake sales, you know, and we donate them to like nonprofit organizations. And this is kind of off topic, but I recently pitched them to like for one of our like bake sales. The proceeds would go to BAYCS. So yeah, yeah. Not sure yet though, so I gotta talk about it with the co-chairs, but yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Could I add one question? So do you think that fundraisers would maybe be essential to creating a climate summit, or would they just be like, how essential would they be in creating something like this?
I'll answer that. So I think for BAYCS specifically, it may not work for all, organizations, each one is different, and also to take in mind like, the geographic location as well, because we're in SF, or not like most of our people are looking in SF. So it's like, it's a really big hub in a big city. So we have a lot of resources. But we don't really use much fundraising. We usually use donations and just like organizations who are just happy to have us. And like, I was mentioning Save the Bay, we're helping for cleanup. And we didn't have to like pay to help out, right? We just asked them and they're like, we kind of emailed them and said, let's host this event together, So it really depends, I think personally, on your like demographic and like your geography. Because like there are so many like environmental places because we're coastal as well. So I'm not sure if Modesto is really coastal or inland maybe. So it may be a little harder to find, you know, if you want to focus on like a coastal, you know, aspect, it might be a little hard to find that. So it's kind of something to keep in mind. Yeah.
And Cassidy, what else do you do for fun if you want to share?
So I was mentioning dance, I do ballet. And I also have, like, similar to Vivian, I'm also an officer of my environmental club at school, which is also really helpful into intersecting them with BAYCS in school. And I'm an intern at the League of Women Voters of Alameda. So yeah, kind of what I do. And I guess for fun, I like watching movies and reading books. And
You
thrifting,
actually
of course.
reminded me of what I did do at high school. I also was an officer for an a health club. And
Ooh.
I forgot about this, but we had gotten the school used to have like a soda machine. And we got the school to stop selling soda on campus and just sell water. I'm sure some kids probably hated me for it. But we were all about, you know, making sure that healthy choices were available. And maybe we could have changed it up a little bit, but the school did change a little bit about what they promoted, because it was like a Pepsi thing. And I think Pepsi might have donated some funds to do something. You know how all these corporations always have a role with money. I think so. Yeah, you just reminded me. I was part of that club.
That's so cool.
Thanks for reminding me of that. It was too long ago. I am 39 years young, so it's been a while. What did you guys mention? What committee you guys are part of in BAYCS? You did? Okay, I missed it.
We're part of the workshops and outreach.
Okay, right. Okay, I do remember you saying that now. I don't know what else to ask. I appreciate you sharing, you know, that's it's okay to prioritize school. School is your number one, what's he said, responsibility, right? And at this age, do you have an idea of what you're going to do after college, or I'm sorry, after high school?
I can go first. Of course, I plan to go to college, and I plan to major in business as well as environmental science. Cause like in the future, my like dream job, and I think BAYCS kind of fostered this. I'm not sure, who knows, but I've always wanted to like create a business that is like science based, like a health tech company. I'm not even sure yet, but like I definitely want to do something in this sort, and BAYCS has definitely inspired me. Yeah.
How about you, Cassidy? What are you doing after high school?
I'm also hopefully planning on attending college. And I'm thinking of majoring in international relations, and kind of, it depends because like many colleges don't have international affairs, so probably political science and or maybe environmental policy would also be very cool. And I think my dream job is to work in the foreign service field and maybe work in an embassy, but we'll see. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Big dreams do require a lot of commitment. And I know you guys are well on your way to making those dreams come true. I am so excited for you. And, you know, I'm really excited to continue our relationship, and we'd love to. I'm already jumping the gun here, Sam, but it would be great if we could have the other youth orgs that are already doing this kind of stuff to be highlighted at the summit. I think that would be great. Are there other organizations that you guys do a lot of work with in the Bay Area or outside of the Bay Area?
We definitely have a little, quite a bit. I'm not really like, really acknowledge on like all of them yet, but I know we have partnered with Greenbelt Alliance and Save the Bay, Earth Echo, and I think the California Academy of Sciences. Oh, and the Bay Area Science Festival, which is like a science, like a kids festival hosted like at like Oracle Park, I think. Yeah.
Are those
But there,
all youth-based?
some are like adult run. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like just to reiterate, like these aren't all of them. I'm pretty sure there's like much more, but yeah.
Because you guys also had the Youth versus Apocalypse group present at your workshop, right?
Yeah, we're partnered with them too. Yeah.
Sam, do you want to share with Cassidy and Vivian a little bit about the environmental climate here?
I guess we should start off with Modesto is located in the valley. We are like, it's really hot here. It's hotter than ever gets like in San Francisco. But it's honestly like a really dry climate. We don't really get that much rain. And because of like the mountains basically surrounding the valley, all of the air quality, like the poor air quality gets trapped in the valley, and there's really nowhere else to go. So that's like one thing we're trying to advocate for, like better air quality. And then, we're trying to do this through school club. So I'm actually starting up that school club and getting youth together, and also working with other people in other schools to set up that network so that then we can also plan our own youth climate summit. And yeah.
How about the political climate? Because it's definitely different than the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's more close-minded. There's not really as much like political freedom or political like say as there is in San Francisco, because like every time I visit San Francisco, I love it every single time. I think it's like a beautiful city. Uh I'd really love to live there. Um but it's a lot more open in San Francisco. But here it's a lot more closed, and we don't really see much like a gathering or coming together to work on change. I haven't really seen that a lot here in this area, and that's one thing we're also trying to do. We're trying to gather folks together, um, like-minded people as well, youth, to be able to create this space that we don't really have here, since it's a very closed-minded area.
Yeah, we live in a very conservative area. So I don't know if you're familiar, but the Central Valley is very like like Sam just said, like
Yeah, they're
close-minded.
very resistant to change.
And it's very difficult to share your opinion if you are not conservative, or just might feel a little uncomfortable. And then it's obviously you become more of like not necessarily like a target, but it becomes more obvious that you're not, or that you're like the other. Yeah, did you, Vivian or Cassie, do you have any questions for Sam, or anything else he should consider as he's planning to move forward with organizing youth, creating a network amongst other high school students in this conservative area?
I was gonna say, I think it's great that you're doing that. I think there's definitely gonna be more a struggle and hardship considering there's like a difference in political climate. I mean, I can see how difficult that can be, and it's great that you're going out to do that. And I think one thing that might be important that I think I forgot to mention was like being adaptable and flexible, because like things don't always go your way, and things happen, this happens, that gets canceled. So always be on your feet and ready to like be able to like fix something, or like innovate and be innovative to like, and be like a kind of like problem solver, and be able to like see if anything needs help, or have backup plans in advance. Especially in a conservative area, you don't know what's going to happen. But that also applies to like running a youth event. You don't know, someone might be sick, someone might be gone, so you never know.
Okay, thank you so much for, this whole meeting is really insightful, very helpful. So yeah.
Vivian, did you have anything to share with Sam or Laura and myself?
I think what you're doing is like very like great and like awesome. And I like literally wish you like the best of luck because it's like it's really fun. Like hosting like a youth climate like event. It's really fun. Plus you get to talk with like other youth and stuff. And like maybe a piece of advice I'll give you is like considering like you guys lived in like Modesto and stuff. I'm pretty sure like there will be like people who will try to like discourage you or dismotivate you into like not doing this. And I feel like in times like that you should just like not be like discouraged and like turn to like your peers and like turn to your youth and like enforce like this like strategy to like work around like these like struggles and stuff. And because like I said, teamwork, it really helps. It makes like a huge difference. So yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Those are very encouraging words. I'm just really excited for Sam and Ditya and the rest of the young folks who are who we're looking forward to joining this committee. And we hope to do it for more than one year. And I'm really just kind of anxious to get it started based on what I saw last weekend at your summit and what you've shared today. We have to make sure that the activities that we create at this space are inviting, welcoming, fun, colorful, and just inspiring, and letting the youth know that it's okay to not have all the answers, but to be in a space where other young people want to do similar things and work on similar projects. And Sam's already creating that at the high school, at Modesto High School, where he's starting a club. Ditya also is just starting a new club herself on campus. So, slowly but surely, keep up the good work, Vivian and Cassidy. I look forward to seeing you guys again. And Sam, let's get this rolling. Do you want to have the last word, Sam?
Well, I'd like to thank you guys again for really putting some time or setting aside some time to help us get some insight on how we can run our own climate summit. It was really helpful. I really like everything that you guys said. Everything was really encouraging and helpful towards what we're doing here. So yeah, thank you guys for your awesome knowledge, and I wish you guys the best of luck. So yeah, thank you guys.
And then Sam, before we stop recording, can you do a quick invitation to anybody who's watching here in the Central Valley or in Stanislaus County who wants to join you on these efforts? How would you invite them? What would you need them to know on how to contact you, or how to keep going from here on out?
Yeah, so I invite everyone in the Central Valley to come together and help us plan and execute this climate summit so we can get your opinions, especially from the youth, to create a space where we can all be comfortable having these conversations that are really important, and really create a space that encourages growth over time and change over time. And one way you can get in contact with me is through my email at samuel.iniguez.flores@gmail.com. That's basically the main way you can get in contact with me. And if not, I will also include a link to my link tree where we have all the links for our school club, for the VIP website, and yeah.
Yeah, and you can also reach Valley Improvement Projects by email or send us a message on our website. Our email is valleyimprovementprojects@gmail.com. Laura, did you want to say anything to Cassidy or Vivian before we log off?
I just wanted to say thank you so much for your guys' insights and providing us your feedback. And it really connected when you said about having a bigger voice, especially when not being of age to vote, because that just highlights like how important this work is. And I want to congratulate you both for being here in the first place and taking the initiative to go and get things done, even if perhaps things aren't going as fast as we would like them to. So thank you both again.
Thank you. Let's, do you guys mind if I take a little screenshot if everybody wants to wave and then we can share that? Okay, ready? 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, it was a very like provoking conversation, and we really enjoyed talking to you guys. And it's like really inspiring to see like other like youth like us doing the same thing. It's just like it just shows like, you know, how much like power we have, considering other like generations don't see us like the same. So it was really like, yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time meeting with all of you, and I'm really excited to see what you guys will become and what you do. Please feel free to like keep in touch. I'd love to see what comes next for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay. Bye.
you.
Oh,
Bye.
and
Guys.
please send the recording. I want to see it.
Yes, we will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.